Here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to welcome you to DTMU, break down their 6-year MD program, look at some real exam success and outcomes, and then wrap up with student life and support.
Section 1. Welcome to DTMU. Let's look at their history and what they're built on. Looking at the official university seal, you'll spot the founding year right away, 1989. DTMU's AIETI Medical School is actually a bit of a trailblazer. It was the very first non-governmental medical teaching institution in the country of Georgia. Founded by academician David Tvildiani and Dr. Dimitri Tvildiani, the whole place was built on the core principles of academic integrity and ethical medical education. For over 30 years now, they've been running a proprietary teaching program that's developed to comply directly with United States medical standards.
And this brilliantly illustrates their global recognition. DTMU holds active, proud memberships in both the Association for Medical Education in Europe, or AMEE, and the European University Association. You know, in the world of international medical education, cross-border recognition like this is the gold standard. It ensures that the academic program you're taking is validated internationally, not just locally. The list of global recognitions here is seriously extensive. DTMU is listed in the World Directory of Medical Schools. They're part of WHO, Avicena for Directors of Medical Schools, the Association for Medical Schools in Europe, Orpheus for PhD education in biomedicine, and the European Board of Medical Assessors. But honestly, a massive point of interest for prospective students is their USMLE-compliant proprietary program. This basically means the curriculum is engineered from day one to prep students for the United States medical licensing examination. Moving on to Section 2, the 6-year MD program. Let's demystify exactly what you'll be doing. So the crucial point is the number 360. The program requires a massive 360 ECTS, that's the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System, credits over the 6 years. To put that into perspective, just one single credit equals 30 working hours, which breaks down to 16 contact hours and 14 hours of independent study. A standard academic year packs in 60 credits. So yeah, it is a highly rigorous undertaking. No cutting corners here. So how are those 6 years actually structured? It's kind of like a giant puzzle broken down into 3 chronological stages. Stage 1 is basic medical science, which takes exactly 2.5 years, or 5 semesters. Once you've nailed that foundational theory, you jump into Stage 2, clinical science, which takes up the next 2.5 years. Finally, Stage 3 is a full 1-year clinical clerkship in your 6th academic year. Keep in mind, an academic year at DTMU is 40 weeks long, split into 2 20-week semesters, and they do a lot of the teaching through hands-on rotations. Of course, you can't learn medicine just by sitting in a classroom, right? DTMU totally gets this, so they have established massive partnerships across Georgia's hospital and research sectors. As a student, you get access to 37 clinical training hospitals and 15 research institutions, which means shared access to some really critical lab resources. Plus, to really bridge that gap between reading a textbook and actual patient care, the MD program features 40 embedded problem-based learning, or PBL cases. This modern integrated approach forces you to apply basic science to real clinical scenarios super early on. Section 3, exam success and outcomes. Because let's face it, data is the ultimate proof of a medical school's efficacy. Now, what's region? And to anchor that data in factual reality, here is an actual excerpt from the 2021 National Board of Examinations in Medical Sciences Performance Report. It officially verifies that 73.68% rate for DTMU. Having this kind of documented hard proof is an absolutely vital metric when you're evaluating how effective an institution really is. But what happens after you pass the exams? Well, the alumni data is pretty telling. 95% of DTMU graduates are professionally employed, with about 63% actively engaged in core clinical medicine as practicing licensed doctors. DTMU alumni are literally all over the globe. They're pursuing residency programs and practicing medicine in the USA, the UK, Europe, India, Africa, you name it. And this all perfectly correlates with their success rates in clearing major international exams, like the USMLE, PLAB, and NEXT. When we look at why these graduates do so well in so many different countries, the data points to a few specific traits cultivated by the DTMU system. First, they build a really strong multiple-choice question and exam-solving ability. Second, that early clinical exposure we talked about, it translates into much higher confidence in real-world settings. Third, they're highly adaptable to US and UK style exams. And finally, they just have incredible resilience, which honestly is a direct byproduct of surviving a strict 360-credit academic framework. Section 4, Student Life and Support. Let's shift focus to the ecosystem that supports you during this rigorous journey. A dynamic learning environment needs more than just lectures, and DTMU fosters this through highly specialized student interest groups. You've got SIGA for surgery, where you can do hands-on suturing workshops. GIGA handles gynecology and obstetric simulations. SIG-N is for neurology, and is actually affiliated with the American Academy of Neurology. There's also ROSMAG for orthopedic and sports medicine, and SYPSF for young scientists who want to present at academic conferences. These groups are fantastic for getting early, hands-on exposure to different specialties and real research.
Let's move to and see how this builds into real, tangible backing for the students. Medical school is a massive investment, right? DTMU gets that, and they provide opportunities for top-performing students to earn 25%, 50%, or even full 100% academic scholarships. They also have specific internal awards like the David Tvildiani Scholarship and the Student of the Year Award. But a real game changer is their USMLE financing and preparatory courses, where the university literally financially backs and preps its highest achievers for the U.S. licensing exams. Outside the classroom, your living environment is a huge part of your success. It's worth noting that Georgia is consistently ranked among the safest countries in the world for international students. In fact, its capital, Tbilisi, has rapidly become a massive international education hub. To support this, DTMU provides comfortable, modern, fully furnished hostel accommodations in a really secure campus environment. The whole idea is to give you a peaceful space so you can focus entirely on those rigorous studies. When you look at the graduating classes, you see a truly diverse international environment. Foreign and Georgian students go through this intense curriculum together, and they graduate ready to join this vast global network of alumni. They're stepping out as licensed physicians, totally prepared to tackle healthcare challenges anywhere in the world. So, we've walked through the history, that demanding 360-credit curriculum, the proven exam pass rates, and the support systems. It is, without a doubt, a rigorous pathway designed for those who are completely serious about a career in medicine. Which leaves us with one final question to think about. Does an integrated, globally recognized curriculum with proven, objective exam success align with your ultimate medical career goals? If you're aiming for the global stage, understanding how DTMU structures its program is a crucial part of your journey. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.